Starmen Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Starman Talk to Talks. I'm your host Devin. With me is Billy and Cody.
Woo! Hey everybody.
And guys, we're going to talk about the Undead. I noticed how none of you were scared by that.
Well, I mean, if you hang out with Cody, so he's pretty much the epitome of the undead.
Yeah, right down to the smell.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's like zombie growl.
Yeah,
He's
fair
trying.
enough. So yeah, we're going to be talking about zombies, skeletons, corpses, mummies, and basically why these are not a scary threat.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd think
the undead should strike some more fear into us than they are currently doing
no.
and previously doing.
Yeah. It's,
So, a lot of that is when you analyze what it is, in my mind. Right now, when I think undead, I think animated rotting corpse.
yeah.
So, I think not going to be really that strong because its muscles are falling apart. Not going to be really that fast
No.
because of the same reason. And because it's undead, it's usually brain dead, so it's not going to be that smart.
No. Yeah. And so things like Hades are going to be easier to take out.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm going to start with the skeleton. We'll get him out of the way. When you run into a skeleton, you think, I just got to smash this with something that breaks bones, and I'm fine.
Just like you just got to grab a ball peen and smash out, take out one leg, and you're done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My question is, how would they move?
Animated magic is usually the answer to that one.
Yeah. Answer to most of the shit.
Magic. Yeah, there's no virus that makes a skeleton move around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and usually, like if you hit them, they fall apart, and usually a chance to run away or something. Usually, their weakness is I fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mainly their weakness is like, we're brittle bones.
Yeah, we're brittle.
Yeah.
Then we'll go into the zombie.
Oh.
And again, anytime I think zombie, slow, lumbering creature.
Yeah. And just hit him in the head.
Yeah, we just gotta find a way to bash their brains in.
Yeah.
Before they bash yours in. So, they have been doing things with the zombie.
Yeah.
Walking Dead's kind of changed this.
Yeah, 28 days.
28 days. Where, because science mutations, they're actually faster and stronger than a normal zombie.
Yeah. Actually, I think even George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, they were saying, not Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
Shows them, like, the zombies remembering their past life to see one guy trying to pump gas.
Yeah.
To go to a gas station.
So, yeah. That's an interesting take on it. It doesn't make them more in a way, it makes them more threatening, but at the same time, I was like...
that one, that one actually did make it threatening.
Because now they'll know how to open doors and do...
Yeah.
And, when you see a zombie running at you, I'd be a little... Oh no.
Yeah. That's when you're, like, kind of worried.
Like, oh shit.
The other thing that these things use to win is attrition and numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this goes for both skeleton and zombies. If you run into a pack of skeletons...
Yeah.
You have a problem.
You have a problem. It's not going away with a good hammer smash.
No.
Same with a pack of zombies. You got like 5 or 6 zombies, and you're not carrying the shotgun.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one way that make them threatening is basically make a ton of them.
Yeah.
And because laws of nature is like everyone dies, it's easy to believe a group of zombies and a group of skeletons.
Yeah. Were you saying nutrition?
Yeah, attrition. It's hard to take down if you don't kill a zombie's brain.
Yeah.
It's going to keep coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same with a skeleton. You can break a skeleton's leg off.
Yeah.
It's going to start still crawling towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with the zombie. Like, if you take out its legs, it's just gonna crawl at you.
Huh. I do believe we mentioned this already, Cody.
Once again.
Clean the shell use, boy.
Pay attention. Which is also what you have to do to avoid a zombie.
Yeah.
Reboot.
Yeah.
My brain. Okay, there we go.
I'm not going to comment on anything. I'm just going to let that pass.
Yeah. So.
The other undead foe I'm thinking of is the vampire.
Yeah.
Now this is a little bit more threatening than your typical zombie.
Yeah. Because a lot of times you can't. Sometimes you can't tell.
No.
And they can be very seductive.
Yes. And the thing about vampires is they always have more powers than
Yeah, like hypnosis.
hypnosis. I can turn into a bat or a fog or a wolf or yeah, like you don't know what you're actually getting when I say there's a vampire coming at us. Okay, does it sparkle in the sunlight, or so we don't have to worry, or is this like the blood sucking one that turns into a bat?
Yeah. Yeah.
So vampires get a pass on that. Liches are also the same. Liches have a magical power, so
Oh yeah, I think I know.
yeah. So the reason we're talking about these is because they're a common enemy in video games,
Yeah.
as well as we have a lot of zombie movies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm more curious as what draws us into why we would put these in our game or movie.
Yeah.
So, anyone's theories, first of all.
Yeah, I honestly.
So, I'm going to look at for a gaming aspect. I can't explain the zombie phenomena, but
No.
I'll try my best. But here we go for gaming. Is zombies and skeletons are a good starter because, again, they're not really that hard to dispatch or to
No.
believe that you can dispatch. Usually, shot to the head, break their bones.
Yeah.
So, they're a good introduction. And if you're making a horror genre game,
Yeah.
they really indicate this is a horror game
Yeah.
right off the bat without getting to the really gruesome, gritty stuff.
Resident Evil.
Yeah,
And that's a good example. Like when the Resident Evil franchise started, it was all zombies.
yep. And then with the guy further, they got more creative
Yeah.
with monster design. So, but no, and then skeletons are the same way. It's
Yeah.
also, they kind of give you an indication. This is in my mind. I'm not sure if that's exactly what anyone was saying. But I always felt like that was the fallen heroes that tried before you. This explains the consequences of your game over.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you fail, you're one of these guys.
Yeah. Look how many people failed before you.
Yeah. These are the heroes that came before you. Yes, exactly.
Wow. Good way of looking at it.
That's how I always looked at it. It's like, if I fail, this is my future. I get to stumble around the front yard for a while. Then for movies, out on a limb, I want to say zombies are more believable than any of the other undead candidates.
Yeah.
Vampires becoming a very close second.
Yeah.
It's easier to believe that we created some sort of chemical or formula to
Yeah.
animate the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It's like science, who knows, right?
Yeah, science, yeah, anyone's game at that point.
And I've actually, like, The Last of Us, those type of zombies.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's some plants that actually do that.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why it's more believable. It's because in nature too,
Yeah.
there's a mushroom that takes over an ant's body so it can recolonize somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
I mean, this flower?
Yeah. But that's a scary thought, and it's like, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that mushroom doesn't take over the world.
Just make sure you eat the right magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
Also, I think we have like cures for it because it's
Ah,
unlike an ant. We have the ability to recognize something's wrong with our body
Yeah.
and do something about it before it becomes a problem.
yeah, it's like, why is my skin becoming like, oh crap?
I know when you realize because that happens, we will put your misery way or away.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I don't want you to. Don't worry about it.
See, no, see, I got bullets and everyone's names engraved on it.
Oh, nice.
Just thinking ahead.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, zombies are more of a believable enemy. Again, I mentioned vampires as a close second.
Yeah.
The only reason vampires, in my mind, fall to close second is it's really hard to explain why they've been around all this time and no one's ever heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because yes, you can say, "Oh, we only drink occasionally," But I was like, "What do you do with the body?" Because someone finds that body, two bite marks in the freaking neck. I wonder if that's a vampire.
Yeah.
Or a really bad heroin junkie.
Yeah. Or someone to know how to give a hickey properly.
No, or yeah, that'd be horrible.
Like for me, if I were a vampire, I'd be a vampire with a furnace in the basement to get rid of the bodies.
Even still, if someone can investigate your basement, there's a pile of bones. You're either a mass murderer.
Oh, he's the John Ray Gacy vampires.
You're really. Yeah. So it's really hard to write the reasoning a vampire exists in this world. And skeletons, it's really hard to write the reason they can move around.
Yeah. It's win the Necronomicon.
Yeah. Again, BS magic.
Yeah, I know. Hilarious BS magic.
Hilarious BS magic, but BS magic to explain skeletons moving is always BS magic. Now the other one that comes up is the mummy.
Yes.
The mummy is either going to be really easy or really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put a cat in.
Yeah.
Throw a little cat on.
That might work actually.
That's,
In the mummy movie, yeah.
yeah, it's like, hey, look what I got. Meow!
Yeah. No! I was like, yeah, your stupid beliefs are what killed you. Good job. But at the same time, it's like, I know a few games where like a mummy enemy has been, holy crap, this thing's hard. And, or I'm going to throw Legend of Zelda out here, but in the Link to the Past, the Gibdos, which is the mummy enemy, are stupidly hard unless you set them on fire.
No.
Yeah, with a couple of bandages. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you can't breathe. Like, 1 sec. Lit.
Now, this is where you hope that they don't act like the mummy problem or zombie problem.
And grab you.
Yeah. When you light up a zombie, now all you have is a flaming zombie.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still coming at you. It has a time limit now, but how long, you don't know,
No,
and
yeah.
it don't care.
And if it grabs you, you're toast.
Yeah.
Literally.
You are now a warm meal for it. And I always felt mummies would be the same way. If you lit a mummy up, it's still going to come towards you. Now it's just a flaming mass of undead.
It's like, oh crap, I didn't think this through.
So, and I guess we're going to steer us back to why we brought this up in the first place, because these things aren't scary anymore.
No.
Oh, not really.
And I'm going to throw it to overexposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in almost everything.
Yeah. Like zombies. God.
We have enough zombie movies and
Yeah.
TV shows.
Yeah.
And I think, like, the mummy movies make fun of the mummy enough that that's not scary.
No. Like, same thing with vampire movies. We see vampire movies have like went from horror to action.
Oh, yeah. Dracula
Or-
2000.
Yeah.
Or to romance.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Oh, did I bring that up around Devin Cody?
I'm not.
It's fine. It happened. We gotta live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but back in the day, the classic zombie movies and like vampire movies were good.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
good because they weren't an area we explored.
Yeah. Now, you've seen it, Nosferatu, the silent vampire movie we watched.
Yes.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one. There was no talking or anything, but it got its message across.
Yeah, I mean, the scene of him coming up the stairs.
Yep.
Yep, that sounds creepy. Nice.
Yeah, no, it was one of the better earlier horror movies.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, Devin's like, I was like, trying myself that Devin's the whole buff, but I'm historical.
Don't worry about it.
Well, 'cause actually, fun fact, White Zombie, I think was supposed to be the first zombie movie.
Yeah?
Bela Lugosi was in that one too.
Okay.
So you have Dracula in a zombie movie too.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, no.
So, overexposure, the other thing is, it's still humanoid enough.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
yeah. So it's ones are not like when you get like different monsters.
Yeah, when you
Little
start getting
creatures.
into the mutations of zombies,
Yeah.
that's when they start getting scary.
Yeah, but when it still shows like yeah, these guys are still part human.
Yeah. So, I'm going to throw it to you, Billy, to make up a horror movie using undead creatures, zombies, skeletons, and vampires, we'll say, and try to make it scary for me.
Ooh.
Cody, your job is to come up with a video game and try to make the skeleton, mummy, or zombie enemy difficult.
Okay.
Okay. Freak science with magic bullshit.
Okay?
Combination of all three.
So we got vampire, zombie, skeletons.
Yeah.
So you're just going to throw it all in one pot and hope for the best.
Yeah.
That's,
And all movies that do that, they turns out do scare them.
if done right.
Right.
And I'm gonna work here with your formula.
Yeah, like, please
So
just be honest.
I'm gonna take the base vampire. That's gonna be our base.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, what happens if you kill a vampire, but it comes back undead again?
Ooh.
So it becomes a zombie vampire, if you will.
Then you would try to mummify it, right?
Well, then
No, sorry.
you have a problem because what's its weakness at that point?
Yeah.
Because vampires' weakness is through the heart with
Yeah,
a stake,
yeah.
usually, or silver. And zombies is brain. You have to kill the brain. So now, do I have to stake a brain?
Oh, good point.
And that'd be the twist of the movie. Is yes, that's how you kill a zombie vampire.
Good one. Yes.
So the whole horror movie is finding out
It's like how we kill this thing.
how do you kill this thing, and using the traditional methods isn't working.
Yeah. So, yeah. You did a good job on that one.
Thank you. Good. Are you done?
Still thinking. I'm trying to come up with something.
See, I thought one.
Yeah, we found one real quick, and then
No, one thing I can think of for the skeletons is every time you break them up, like hit them and they fall apart,
yeah,
they just reform.
yeah. A regeneration has been a common thing
Yeah.
for skeletons to make them not well a little bit harder, but also a constant threat.
Yeah,
But at that point, they're more of a nuisance.
yeah.
Now, I'm going to throw an interesting twist here, and you tell me if this sounds like this could get harder. When you break a group of skeletons, they form together to make one more massive.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that would make it a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Megaskeletor.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry.
that's the other question I was going to bring up. Why do we give skeletons that freaking Skeletor voice? It's,
I don't know. They even in Enemy Darkness, kind of, right?
yeah, always the nasally. Nah. And I mean, I know Skeletor is probably the most common reason why, but I've yet to see a skeleton that never got that voice.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Very good point.
Yeah.
They're just about to look at their nose. They wouldn't have the problem.
No, really.
Like, and for zombies, like the running and the jumping. But I also think if they feed on something and they start mutating, like,
Yeah, if they get a bite of you, they get stronger because. The other thing I was going to throw out is if you hack off a limb, that limb still keeps coming towards you.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, like that. I'd be like, oh, neat.
Neat in the sense of I'm screwed.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring these questions up is because hopefully someday in the future we'll get better zombies and skeletons.
Yeah, and no really pussy vampires.
Yeah. We can hope. We can all hope.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sorry, even the vampires in Blade were underwhelming, so.
Yeah.
like some vampires I found kind of actually a little threatening were the
Trial. You guys got the Twilight vampires.
No.
40 Days a Night. I think that's the movie.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
where they're in Alaska.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, those would be threatening, especially if it's like 40 Days of Night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was like, so how do we get out of this one? We don't.
High-powered lights.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, the movie's over 10 minutes.
So, yeah, let's look at the vampire real quick before we end this episode. How can we fix the vampire problem? And movies have done this, and games are doing it too. Change their weaknesses and powers around constantly.
Yeah.
So you're always giving your viewer guessing on what is their actual weakness and what can they actually do.
Yeah, like change that where it's not a cross or holy water that affects them and something else.
Yeah. Also, which aspect of the vampire are you looking at? Because we do have the vampires that charm and hypnotize and use seduction as their main weapon. Then we have the really powerful vampires that use brute strength and force.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have the smart vampires that use cunning and strategy to win their fights. So, but when you try to make a vampire all of that, it doesn't really work.
No.
Like, I remember one vampire movie that switched up the weaknesses. Fright Night or Creep Night?
Fright Night?
Yeah. Like, I think, like, that particular vampire could hold, like, crosses and holy water.
Yeah, it wasn't hurt by
Yeah.
holy items like they're
Yeah.
supposed to be. And with that, guys, that's the Talk to Talk. I am your host, Devin. Thank you all for listening.
Billy, dig it.
Cody, see you next time.
Have a good one, guys.